Alright, welcome back everyone. This is Paul Gaither. This is Madden NFL 2002. And this is the off-season after 3 years of our franchise going into the 4th season. And the very first thing I want to check is to make sure that the draft class isn't repeated, which it is. So there you go. Ruark is literally our tight end that we drafted. That means, no, that's literally the draft we had, right? Or is the name just repeated? Break tackle. Is it repeated? Is it not repeated? Because I thought we had John Ruark. Is that a brother potentially? Rosters. As soon as I saw the name Ruark, I was like, that's gotta be our guy, right? John Ruark. Yeah. 83 overall, 68 speed. And Trap is a 66 overall. So draft info. Draft preview. Halfback 66 overall. But Trap isn't here. That's interesting. But John Ruark is the 68 speed player, 83 catch, 6'6", 278, out of Texas. Anyone else on that list? It can't be a coincidence of the name. You know? So the center, Tim Armstrong, 78 overall center. Yeah, Tim Armstrong. Yeah, there we go. 78 overall center. Yeah, it's the same draft class. But what is the story with Trap not being there? That's kind of weird and interesting. But you can see the game has definitely decided to double up the draft class. So this is a live preview of why you have to reload your files. It's not me trying to cheat to get a specific class, but you've got to save before you advance. Because if we saved afterwards, if we had gone through different positions, then we would be stuck with the same draft class. And see, now it loads up a new draft class. And let us go to linebacker. Speed. Okay, so we don't have Valentine here. Right? Let's just double check anything else. As we said, speed here. Stevens, this is not Madison. So there is an 89 speed tight end, but it's not Madison. Okay, so I mean, this is only our 3rd draft class, but I've seen Madison repeated in my first year, and then Ruark was just repeated now for us. So these are confirmed, like, draft classes that are repeated, but that's really interesting that Trap wasn't in that list. Maybe Trap is someone that gets added a little bit later. But here's our draft class now. And before we jump into the great details and get lost in those details, we know that it's not repeating our draft class, so we're safe to progress in this off-season mode. Off-season schedule. Retired players. Shannon Sharp finally hangs up the cleats at age 35, 14 years of service, and so does CMC's dad, Ed McCaffrey, as an 80 overall. Quarterbacks, nothing big. Halfbacks, no one. Not even Garrison Hurst. That's interesting. Garrison Hurst does not hang up the cleats. Fullback Sam Gash in the Super Bowl was hurt. Lorenzo Neal, the legend himself, drops in his overall rating. William Floyd, former 49er, he retires. Ed McCaffrey, O.J. McDuffie, Rob Moore, Ricky Prohl, Shannon Sharp. And did Ben Coates finally retire in last year's, or did he continue? Cardinals. Yeah, maybe he did retire. I know in some versions he didn't retire, in some versions he did. But yeah. don't want to get off track here. Jackson, Randall McDaniel retires, 16 years, 38 years old. Dermontti Dawson, he was a Steelers player that didn't really continue in 2001, but in the game he does. He's a gold jacket player and continues for those 3 extra seasons, 1, 2, and 3. Tony Mayberry continued here. We see the defensive ends, the defensive tackles. Lee Woodall, 33 years old, 10 years pro. I remember him being a 49ers good linebacker. I thought he was older than that by this time. I'm actually kind of surprised that he's such a low overall and just kind of forgotten about, because I remember him in the 90s when he was young and talented. I'm going to say he wasn't talented anymore, but I think you understand my point. Hardy Nickerson hangs it up. Brian Cox does finally at age 35. Again, another player that didn't continue playing after the 2001 season or the 2000 season or whatever. I think 2001 was the latest he went. Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. The player who made the tackle against Dyson, and he's playing for the Titans. Wow. He's the one who made the 1-yard stop to prevent the Titans from tying up or / winning the Super Bowl against the Rams in 99. He's the one that made that play. That's Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. Arneas Williams. James Hasty hangs him up. Dave Thomas, he hangs him up. We signed him as just a big body corner. Leroy Butler. Marcus Robinson. John Carney. Feagles hangs him up. So there you go. That is your retirement class. And now, let's take a look at player progressions, shall we? Focus on our team first, now that we've got the retired players out of the way. At the quarterback position, we have minor improvements, but nothing spectacular. They have Tim Rattay with 61 awareness versus Brady there. So 1 point each. Just some decent backups who were able to get some work done. And we can see the throwing accuracy is still nothing special. Garcia just stays neutral at a 93 overall at age 33. We're definitely going to need a replacement for Garcia in the coming years. We can take a look at his contract information later. Kevin Barlow, who now has 3 years of experience under his belt, increases from a 79 up 4 points to an 83. He gets a little faster, a little stronger, more aware, more agility, acceleration, more catch, more carry, and more break tackle. We're going to worry about trap in a minute, but that break tackle ability continues to increase. And I want to focus here on Garrison Hurst, who continues to drop off. -5 points, losing more speed, more strength, more agility, acceleration, losing his catch, losing his carry, losing his break tackle. Yeah, just all around was really hoping he'd hang up the cleats. And when we go to re-sign players, his contract is up, so we're going to just have to let him go. Okay? Let's go back to rosters and just let Garrisoners find a team or retire or do whatever, because we just cannot maintain that. But now we look at Trapp, who had a fantastic standout year as a rookie, goes from a 66 overall to a 68 overall. The speed does not increase. The strength is nothing special, but wasn't a hindrance. The awareness goes up a little bit. He'll never have a high awareness. Agility, solid acceleration, okay catch, okay carry, fumble prone apparently. His break tackle improves. He's kind of hitting the ceiling, I guess. He's only going to be so good, but that decent speed, and Barlow's catching up to him in speed, that decent speed and that really nice break tackle is why he's been a good change of pace running back, 1 year younger than Barlow. Good player in rotation. Beasley at age 29 stays the same. Owens stays the same across the board, no change. Stokes, despite having a standout year, a career year actually for him, 1,495 yards, Pro Bowl appearance, 10 touchdowns, all of that, he drops overall, despite the performance. Reduces his speed, reduces his strength. Awareness stays the same, agility, all the athletic aspects, but his catch rating goes down. His jump, his break tackle, everything along those lines continues to decrease. It becomes a question mark. Is he up for a new contract? I thought he had a 4-year deal. Let's go to wide receiver. Stokes still has 2 years under contract, so we don't have to worry about him, and cutting him will still cost us a lot of money. He's going to, like, dip out, right? He'll have 2 years, 1 year. Like, we don't have to worry about the contract situation with Stokes, but he's definitely on the decline. And we're going to need to find some kind of replacement in the coming years. But definitely on the decline. Ty Streets improves a little bit. And the wide receivers that we drafted as rookies in the first year, they've improved a little bit as well. Nothing spectacular. We do not have a deep wide receiver core, but they get the job done. Tight end, John Ruark. 5-point increase. What's up? Speed is still below 70. It's nice. Strength increase, solid. Awareness goes up 5 points, which is going to help his route running. Agility improves. His catch, more clutch. His carry, nothing special there. Nowhere near that, like, sub 60. Break tackle. But also his run block continues to increase. His pass block, whatever. But the run block rating is still solid. So an 88 overall tight end. Got to be happy with that. Madison is going to be entering his 3rd year in the NFL. And he still goes up a point, even though he only had 1 reception versus his 8 receptions the previous year. Good speed, but just not the receiver that we were hoping we would get. But Madison, you know what he did? He had the game-winning touchdown. 1 reception in the regular season, and the game winner. So, I mean, maybe another tight end would have made that same catch, but he's the one that made it. You can see the 43 catch rating. But the big reason we have him is he has the really high run block rating. Excuse me. And the high speed. But he definitely is a liability at tight end, despite making the Super Bowl winning, game-winning catch. And Eric Johnson, who's going to be a fantastic tight end for us in Madden 2003 and beyond, is not so much in this game. So we could definitely use improvement at the tight end position later. Walter Jones, age 29, stays the same, no improvement, no decline. Ken Boston continues to improve, 76 overall, 23 years of age, going into his 3rd season. And rookie last year, Simon Lawrence, our backup, our rookie. So, solid strength rating, awareness got better. Pass block, run block, solid across the board, nothing spectacular. Really weak in pass blocking here. I really have the coughs right now, and I don't want to cut this video off. So I'm going to do the very best that I can. Tim Armstrong, our rookie center. He continues to improve. You're really going to have to forgive me here while I go on mute, and I just got to cough like a monster. All right. Thank you for sticking with me. Had to cough like crazy and drink water. And I don't have a cold. It's just the way life is for me. So, Tim Armstrong here. The rookie. The high draft pick. 24 years old. Increases from 78 to 80 overall. Can't increase that strength anymore. Has a very slow speed. Awareness breaks the 80 mark. And then we look at his pass and run block stats. He's getting closer, creeping closer to 90 pass block, but not quite there yet. And the run block already started at 80 and is creeping on its way up. Jeremy Newberry, who was like an 86 or better in Madden 2003, simply isn't in Madden 2002, and he has technically been replaced. He's still a solid backup for us at age 27 with decent strength, decent awareness, and just decent pass stats, pass and run block stats, like sub 80, but just serviceable backup. Right guard, Johnny Rice. Johnny Rice. Wow, I just messed that up real bad, didn't I? Johnny Rice. 67 overall. Okay. And I thought, yeah, this was our starter. Yeah, at age 27. No. Quintero, I've seen in the cutscenes, like maybe he's just the special teams offensive lineman. But yeah, Johnny Rice, 69 overall, 93 up to 94 strength, a little more awareness. Definitely was getting beat up by Hoven. And his pass and run block are above the 80s. Yeah, Hoven just like destroyed him, especially I bet that awareness rating is what was hitting him the hardest. But Quintero, another solid backup. That's our offensive line situation. And Mark Brown, who was getting thrown around. Like, that's what was something that was bothering me in the Ravens game in the Super Bowl. 99 strength, right? 94 pass blocking. Now up to 95. And he was getting pancaked, right? I was hoping and expecting his run block to increase a lot more than just like 1 point to 1 point. But that is the way it is. And the awareness is still hurting. But we'll see how it goes. So that is our offensive line situation. We'll dive into our roster needs as we go along. John Engelberger, despite not really getting much of anything, he's got the 7 sacks. So that is technically an increase and more tackles than the previous year, but less than the first year of our season with 5 sacks, 52 total team tackles, the forced fumbles, all that. I don't know if some of the progression is like predetermined or not, but John Engelberger, unlike real life, is like continuing to rank into being a stud. And when I've simulated Madden 2002 franchise mode with the Niners and he gets simulated stats, he ends up being like a 95 or 94 or whatever defensive lineman. So he's actually being held back by our scheme and just still continuing to increase overall. So the strength, the awareness, and where's the tackle rating here, increases over to that point. And Marcus Douglas, again, real life 49er at a certain point, solid backup. And Engelberger continues to increase that strength rating where it's like we don't even need the strong backup, though it does help for the goal line situations. At right end, Andre Carter is the one who's actually becomes a really good defensive end for San Francisco. And Paul Spicer has been a solid contributor for us as that 4-3 strong run-stuffing defensive end there. So, solid across the board at defensive line. And obviously, Bryant Young, age 31, doesn't decline. Reggie McGrew increases. Fisk drops 9 points, a year younger than Bryant Young, and he drops. Is it a stats thing? I don't know. But Fisk drops off. That is sad, and the strength drops off really hard. So it looks like Reggie McGrew. Again, are these improvements and decreases like predetermined? Is there like in the 360 version of Madden, is there really like the potential rating? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But Fisk takes a huge dip, and his strength takes a dip. 82 strength, like he's a liability. He's got to be the backup now. We paid him good money in our first offseason. So we're going to take a look at defensive tackles here. Fisk is still 2 years on the deal, $2.5 million a year. That's what he's going to cost us if we cut him, but I don't plan on cutting him. I plan on at least keeping him for this year because he is plus 80 in the strength department. He can still be a backup, and McGrew can be our other defensive tackle to take over at his age, at age 26. But that's definitely something to be aware of. All right, let's continue with our review of our increases and decreases across the board. But that's big, -9. Let's pay attention to McGrew, age 26, 87 strength. The awareness is so-so. Tackle goes up to 86. Like, McGrew is a solid player here. Solid increase. And Spoto, our nose tackle, who has made big plays, especially in the playoffs, forcing fumbles, right? There's only one forced fumble for the regular season. 9 tackles, 10 tackles, 3 sacks, 3 sacks, pass deflection, like just a solid nose. Goes up to 96 strength. The awareness is still sub 50. And the tackle is 88. But there's Fisk, where he also drops off in his tackling skill, becoming a true liability out there. Okay, that's going to be interesting as we move forward. Jamie Winborn, born to win, won a ring like Malcolm Butler for the New England Patriots. Winborn, a Madden 2002 legend, with the interception to lock up the Super Bowl when the other team was expected to win. He robbed them of a victory. Statue of Winborn with that interception. Clutch. 78 speed, no change, but increased 3 points overall. Strength, awareness, agility, no acceleration. The catch gets 1 extra point. And the tackle rating goes up to 87. So, absolutely clutch player there. Nothing special here about Alex Lincoln. I don't even remember why he's even on the team. Just a chance to fill a space, because I wouldn't have signed him with that speed or anything. Derek Smith stays the same. No real change. Valentine continues to improve. I thought he had 89 speed, but still 84 speed is quite something. His tackles actually went down in only 1 sack. His production was reduced from his rookie year, where he was really standing out. But he improves. The strength gets better, the awareness gets better, and the tackle rating goes up to 92. So, Levi Valentine, is he ready to take over the position of starter over Derek Smith? No. But I may try it. I don't know. And Jeff Ulbrich gets better. 67 overall. 75 speed. Goes up to 68 awareness. See, that the awareness is the reason why Valentine probably wouldn't be the starter. But the speed and what he's able to do with his tackling ability is still quite good. And I'm happy with Jeff Ulbrich on my team. Just a personal fan favorite. I'm the fan, but fan favorite. And then there's Julian Peterson, +3 overall, up to an 88 at age 25. No increase in speed, but gets a little stronger. His awareness breaks the 80 mark. Agility, acceleration, and his tackle ability goes up to 88. So now we've got strong tacklers. 85, 87, 92, 88, like the linebacker position, regardless of the overall. Really happy there. Cornerback position, Ahmad Plummer at age 27 continues to increase. Not his speed, but his strength. His awareness breaks the 90 mark. Agility goes up, and so does acceleration. His catch gets to the 70 mark. His jump continues to increase, and his tackle rating goes up as well. It's actually Dwayne Washington, despite his constant performance that he's had, going all the way back to 1994, 10 years pro now. He drops 4 points. It's got to be, I don't know if there really is an hidden potential rating, but the decline, -4 points, not as fast, not as strong, keeps the awareness, not as agile, not as much acceleration, not as much catching or jump. Tackling ability goes down. So he is 64. He's still 61, but it goes down. So I don't know how many years we still have with him. He was playing at a high level. He played for us for 2002 and 2003, helped us get a ring, made back-to-back Pro Bowls. Washington, a heck of a player for our roster, despite the decline. And we have our backup getting to be as good as Bronson is right now, with more speed, with more strength, less awareness, more agility, the same acceleration, and the tackle rating not as high. And Zach Bronson's tackling is an important part of why he's on this team. But we've got decent depth here, so we'll see if we need it and how badly, and what we do in the draft moving forward. Lance Schulters, let's go! 96 overall at age 28, continues to get better, more strength, more awareness, 95 awareness, elite safety, not what he would become in real life. The Niners would let him go after the first season, and we would end up with Tony Parrish, the former Bears safety, and Schulters would be with the Titans and kind of fell off. But in this franchise, 96 overall, 95 awareness. And that tackling goes above 80, and he's already been a solid tackler for us. Our other safety position, John Keith, with his physical abilities, continues to improve, setting the bar ahead of, rest in peace, Pat Tillman, who, again, I feel is worth making a roster edit. You tell me what you think. But a little more awareness for Pat, but more athleticism for Keith. You know. And in tackling, yeah, the higher awareness and the higher, technique is with Tillman, and the physical attributes like the athleticism goes to Keith. So some solid backup safeties at that position. We basically have 5 safeties and 4 corners. So we've got, 9 defensive backs out of like what we generally want to have as 10 because one of them retired, right? After safety, Jason Elam continues to drop. We're paying him. He's getting older. The speed, the strength, we don't care. The awareness is obviously important. But the kicking power and accuracy goes down. Kicking power goes down. He's getting older, right? We're paying for a guy on the decline, but he's absolutely been clutch for us and worth the money. Chad Stanley continues to improve the awareness, and the kick accuracy is only 79, but the kick power to just boot those punts away. So that is our team. This is what we look like right now with player progression. Okay, off-season schedule, re-signing players. That's going to be our next step in our video, is re-signing players. It is time to save our off-season schedule. As we have the retirements, we've gone over the overall players. We're going to go through the NFL's stars like Drew Brees and Brett Favre, Michael Vick, all that at a later time. But we've got our retirements, we've got our player progression, and we're going to take a look at contracts in part 2 of our video. It's been half an hour. Thank you for your patience, especially while I was coughing, and I'll see you in part 2.